guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, welcome back to the channel, and that was the noise of a Performante because we are at Silverstone with Topaz, where they're hosting a bit of a shootout with, well, this little line of cars behind me. So going head to head on the Silverstone International Circuit with Oli Webb driving them one after the other, we have the Aventador SVJ, the Porsche GT2 RS, and the McLaren Senna. This is going to be quite interesting which way it will go. So let's take a quick look at the cars behind me here in the pit lane before they each go out to set some lap times. Here in the pit lane then at Silverstone, there are some amazing cars. A track day that's been put on by Topaz for their clients, but it is these three in front of me now that I'm particularly interested in. I think there was a pista that just flew past, but what we're looking at are some cars that are about to battle it out. Same driver, same day, same conditions. So let me walk you through our three entrants to today's shootout. The Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, and the McLaren Senna. They're going to be going out on Silverstone's International Circuit. I think we'll start with this car, the Porsche 991.2 generation GT2 RS, rear-wheel drive, 700 horsepower from the rear engine, 3.8 litre twin turbocharged flat six, 700 horsepower through the 7-speed PDK gearbox, and the car that did set a Nurburgring Nordschleife lap record until that came along. So Porsche had it with the 918 Spider at 6:57, Lamborghini came along with the Performante and broke the record at 6:52, then Porsche came along with the GT2 RS and did 6:47. So the car has then since been done up a little bit by Manthey Racing, and this car actually has some of the Manthey Racing tweaks to it, and it's done a 6 minutes 42 second time, breaking the 6:44.97 of the SVJ. The Senna though has never yet set a time, which is why this is particularly interesting to me. So yep, there goes the pista. You can see there are lots of rather nice pieces of metal around. This is a Visac package car, the carbon fibre exposed bonnet and roof that you can see. But let's move on to competitor number two, the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, the coupe, one of 900 units. There's a rear mid-engine, 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12, 770 horsepower, 720 newton meters. It is of course four-wheel drive with the sequential automated gearbox as opposed to a double clutch, but the most hardcore version of the Lamborghini Aventador, Lamborghini's flagship V12 Brute, and a car that went and broke the record at the Nürburgring as well. Then we come through to a competitor that McLaren have not run at the Nordschleife. They took a prototype, a mule car, to test some of the aero, because of course those of you that are familiar with my channel and my Senna will know that this thing is very much a downforce aero car, 800 kilos of downforce. So the Senna, McLaren's Ultimate Series car, is the most expensive of our trio, about £800,000 spec versus around £400,000 spec versus around £300,000. Like the GT2 RS, it's also rear-wheel drive. You've got a 4-litre twin turbocharged V8. Here it makes 800 horsepower and 800 newton meters, so the most powerful of our trio that we're going to be seeing out against one another. But again, lots of carbon fibre, full carbon fibre body. This car painted by MSO in the dual tone with all of the gold accents that you can see. But basically active aero going on the front flaps, that ginormous rear wing. There's Lamborghini's ALA system. So this is active aero. This is basically fixed aero. You can adjust the mounting points of the rear wing. And this is ALA, Lamborghini's Aerodynamica Lamborghini Attiva, where air basically comes through here, it can also at the front, and then gets sent out either side of the wing and out through the slats underneath to kind of position it, pivot it, and give it extra downforce on that side. So I think that's our quick introduction to the cars and what's going to be happening today. Silverstone International Circuit, quite a short track, but fair conditions, exactly the same setup for each car. You've got to remember, that's quite a significant part of this. You can see lap times from different days, but it doesn't always mean that much. In terms of another thing to compare, I think, what tyres are we on here? We're on the Corsas on the Aventador SVJ, Pirelli Trofeo Rs on the Senna, slightly more focused, and we're on the Michelin Cup 2 Rs on the GT2 RS. So this is the most focused tyre, then the Senna, then the SVJ. But outside of that, the car's all ready and set to go with quite a crowd watching. So let's see what's going to happen. I'm joined then by the man of the hour, Oli.
I'm excited.
Big day, right?
Yeah, big day to have all these together.
So, I mean, you're a man who's pretty qualified to get behind the wheel of different cars. I think you've done some warm-up laps today with every car.
Yeah, with every car, practicing each one.
So you're familiar, you know what's going on.
Exactly, yeah, and then we're going to do 5 laps in each.
And you know that a lot of people are watching.
Yeah, pressure's on.
The pressure is
I
really
don't own any
on.
of them, so the pressure's really on.
True. Well, I for one am looking forward to seeing how this goes. Hopefully we can catch up afterwards and see what felt the best and how it's all gone.
Sounds good.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Up first, it is going to be the Porsche GT2 RS. Now the car has a Manthey Racing geometry. Of course, Manthey Racing made their own GT2 RS go very, very quickly indeed around the Nordschleife. You could in fact say it is the record holder. There's a lot of activity here. The GT2 RS, when I experienced it myself, is really a car that you can push and use the aero and feel the aero. It gives you grip, it gives you mechanical feeling grip as well as aero grip. Just everything about it is so planted. Also running on some very sticky rubber in this instance. The Cup 2R tyre from Michelin is very much up there with a short life expectancy but maximum grip where required. So the GT2 RS setting things off with a remarkable pace, really getting a move on without any struggles or difficulties at all with Oli at the wheel. Next up, we have the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. SVJ for Super Veloce Jota. The brute, I think we could say, with the V12. The real, I think, car that needs you to manhandle it to get the most out of what it offers. The four-wheel drive system helping significantly at the Nordschleife, perhaps less so, including the extra weight, when it's out on a more open track like that here at Silverstone. The wider corners, the Formula One style nature, the fact that we are driving on parts of the Formula One circuit, the international track, a shorter length, very different in style and layout to the Nordschleife, but the SVJ really the maddest of mad Lambos. As you can see, the noise that it makes, that glorious wail of the V12, is something really pretty special as well. Oli at the wheel doing what he needs to do to set a proper lap time with the SVJ before bringing it back around to the pits. Lastly, but by no means least, the McLaren Senna. The car that is probably most at home out on the open track here at Silverstone. The most powerful of the three, the fastest on paper of the three, and also the most expensive. Now with the Trofeo Rs, the standard tyre option available on the car, you've got to get some heat into them. So Oli working them hard during the build-up, ready to go out and use some of the aerodynamic capability of the Senna. That huge rear wing, the active aero that the car has, the whole design, literally the form following the function to make it as quick as possible on this type of track. That's what it's built for. Following, of course, in the steps of Ayrton Senna, Formula One driver, this is a Formula One track where the car can really be put through its paces, not necessarily the best sounding, but looking very, very quick as Oli takes the turns around the Silverstone International Circuit. So let's see then how these three are going to stack up and compare to one another. Back in again, how are you feeling?
I'm good, yeah, adrenaline.
So the three different cars, SVJ, GT2 RS, Senna.
They all drive completely differently, especially on the brakes, the way they all three drive. So it was three of the most different cars on the market to be able to drive against each other.
Yeah, they all do. This is the strange thing. They all do basically the same thing. They're road legal, stupidly track orientated versions of cars.
Yeah, feel well similar on the track, and it looks good too.
So, any early feelings before we get the numbers?
I would say that the Senna on the brakes is just so unbelievably good. But that GT2 RS with the power it's got now, with the setup it's got, is pretty impressive in the slow speed stuff. So I think it's between those two. The SVJ is so much more impressive than the old SV. Yeah, I think it's still got to be ours. Alright, well done on the driving. I'll go check out the video clips and let's find out how this has gone. The scores are in. But the cars today, it's just endlessly epic. The GT2 RS is just one after the other. However, we have taken a look then at the three cars that I was going to be checking out today, and I should have put money on this earlier, which way it was going to go. I'll probably bring the numbers up on screen, but if not, here we are then. The results, take this in. The Aventador SVJ, 1 minute 10.9. The GT2 RS, almost 2.5 seconds quicker at 1 minute 8.54. The Senna though, more than 2 seconds faster than that, 1 minute 6.38. Over, well, about 4.5 seconds, over 4.5 seconds faster than the SVJ managed itself. So when you consider that's a fairly short track, only 1 minute long, that's, well, the SVJ is fast, and as Oli said, completely different cars to drive, but the Senna, as expected, has taken the crown out of that shootout. So GT2 RS has the Manti geometry and the Cup 2 R's. Pista goes flying by, which makes it a touch quicker, I guess, than the standard car. This is so cool, just talking to you about these numbers with all the cars driving past. But, Performante, cool down laps, I think. But the Senna took the crown. Took the crown with 1 minute. So cool. 1 minute 6.38 here at the Silverstone International Circuit on the Topaz track day. But how interesting that was actually to see the results in person, to see the differences in a fair test, as fair as it could be. Of course, some tyre differences between the cars, but all private cars as opposed to company cars, all completely even in the way that they've been tested there by the guys. Those are the times from my video. So let's roll it and see them up against one another. That was worth a distraction. Carrera GT, now it's lap time.
the cars in here are pretty special. This is particularly nice, the blue Carrera GT, satin black 720S, just everything. But what an awesome day now with the sunlight just going down. What an opportunity to see some of these cars in a way that I think, challenge car, in a way that I think so many of us want to see the results and see what they can actually do. And now we've had the opportunity thanks to this event arranged by Topaz today. And there's a little quad of BAC monos here as well. That colour is pretty mad on that AMG GTR. But yes, fantastic day. Huge thanks to Topaz. Also, of course, to Oli for driving the cars and to the owners who allowed their cars to be driven for that little shootout. That's it for this time though. Thank you, he says. SVJ is just crawling in behind. I don't want to get run over. I think it's a pretty good note to end on an SVJ just coming right past us. And it's Mr. TGE. He's been enjoying a passenger lap. Oh, there we go then. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed the video. That is it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.